Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. It's another edition of JJ and Alex right here, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. The team's back together again.
You sound like somebody just got back from vacation, vigor,
I love it.
energy.
You know what I noticed today? Like, you have the TV glow. You have kind of the, it's like a.
That's not what Hans just called it.
No, you and Hans had a conversation outside. That was one for the books right there.
Yeah.
Good for you, though. You know what it is? It said, I just, because we were having a conversation, we were just catching up about our weight loss. You're looking phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
And then
You too.
I lost 2 pounds on vacation.
How about that?
That's honestly,
SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com.
No, I'm just telling you. Like, normally vacation is a plus 15 situation for me.
No doubt. For everybody.
But for me,
Who's gone on a cruise and did not gain 10 pounds?
Oh, I can't go on a cruise ever. Like, that's actually part of the program that we're on is thou shalt never go on a cruise ever again. There's no, because you can't.
Thanks a lot, Carnival.
You're
Hey, we
stuck.
have the Coug Cruise.
I gotta go on the Cougar cruise.
How are you going to do that?
How's Hans gonna do it?
You got to go. Jimmer's going to be there.
Honestly, the best person on that list is Hans, right?
Oh, no doubt.
In terms of I feel like a fun cruise situation. Now, you might get thrown overboard, right? Hans's cruise version of Hans is throwing people overboard because he's happy to see him.
Yeah, that's a danger.
like-
Anytime you're around Hans,
Hey.
there's a chance you get tossed.
Man overboard. So, yeah, we got tons to catch up on. We have tons to catch up on. It is not easy taking kids to the airport. And I want to just say congrats to my wife for being really, really good at being super patient. I'm not there yet. But I was telling you before, there was a guy at the airport yesterday. Now, we are looked at as a freaking clown group, all right? Because it's me, my wife, and 7 children, okay? Okay? And when you're going through the airport, that is something different. That's something special, all right? And I hate it. I hate being looked at weird. I hate people talking to you or people whispering behind their back. So what I don't like is, but you're getting on the airplane, you paid for seats too, man.
Yeah.
And everybody looks
Absolutely.
at your baby. If a baby gets on board anywhere, people are looking at that baby going, what's this baby going to do?
There's a lot of baby hate out there.
There is.
Man, a lot of baby
and
hate.
especially because there's a lot of people, if you're traveling from Utah or coming to Utah, everybody's like, we get it. There's a lot of kids usually coming in.
We've all had babies. Why do we hate the babies?
Got it. But I get looked at funny. But congrats to my kids. We are.
Another I think you should leave reference.
What does Will Forte even say? That is the weirdest thing. Getting some time off? That's good. It's good.
That's a good Will Forte.
It's not even Will Forte. It's that character. I don't even.
Sorry, I threw you on a tangent. You were telling a great story and I threw you on a tangent.
He's like, what is on your hand? A rat bit me. It's not that gross. Yeah, so bottom line is, a guy starts speaking in Spanish about how ridiculous we were. Like getting on the plane, I can't believe how many kids they have. I can't believe you would bring this many kids on a plane. Why would you do that? Why would you have this many kids? And he got the shock of his life when I responded back in my semi-perfect Spanish accent and got at him. And
that's awkward.
He responded back in English. Oh, no, I think it's great. No, I think it's great. I go, well, then why'd you say it in Spanish? Because you didn't want me to understand it, right?
Wow.
Because if you thought it was great, you'd say it in English, thinking that I maybe understand it.
Busted.
Instead, the most awkward moment of his life. I like awkward moments like this, where I clown on. My kids are like, what did you say to that guy? I go, oh, I just wish him a happy time.
Sure.
Wish him a happy time.
Sure you did.
But my wife was like, what's that guy saying? I go, he was clowning on us, man. Don't let him clown on you. We have fantastic kids traveling-wise. They are amazing traveling. They did a phenomenal job. And they're great. And our baby does not cry one freaking second on that plane. All right? So, congrats to our family. We made it through. That is the last of our vacations for the year, though. And I will never go on vacation again.
One and done.
I'm not doing it. And it's just mostly because of the stress. So I can't do the stress. Speaking of the stress, how about Oklahoma and Florida in the Women's College World Series? Double elimination. Oklahoma trying to get, what do they have, 3 natties in a row? It's like the best
Just
streak
an
in the sports
absolute
history.
Juggernaut, a dynasty.
So did they close it out? Yeah, they did, I guess. They closed it out. So it's going to be Oklahoma and Texas in the freaking championship series? Come on.
Technically still in the Big 12, right?
I know. I love they have the Big 12 on their shoulders. This is the last, by the way, of Big 12 anything. Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma, championship series. Florida just got handed to them. They were
The Women's College World Series is great.
Sneaky good.
Love
Sneaky
it.
good. I will watch women's Final Four volleyball as much as I do any other thing. I'm like, this is phenomenal. And watching softball, phenomenal.
Yep.
You
Love
can clown on me all you want, but these series
Why would they clown on you?
because they're like, oh, that's not that fun.
It's great.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So that's my 2 cents. All right. We got tons to get through. We got so many things to get through.
You've been gone a long time. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Hey, what happened while I was gone?
I mean, it wasn't like the last time when we got an NHL hockey team.
No.
But there has been a lot going on.
There has.
There's a lot to chat about.
Did we figure out a mascot yet? Are we in the second round of voting yet?
No, but
Still
we do.
not.
Apparently we have colors.
I heard.
We have colors.
Well,
we have a logo.
They trademarked the entire color wheel, right? Isn't that what they did?
Pretty
Every
much.
color could be a part of this.
Icy blue. I think there's something to it.
Some icy, something frost related.
It's going to look really good with that Yeti logo.
Hey, our program is always brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives make the G2G Bar perfect for anybody who needs a quick, tasty, and nutritious boost. And man, it's been a minute since I've been in the studio. I will say this too: no G2G bars that I could find in South Carolina. No, I didn't go to Costco. They're at Costco, obviously.
Are
everywhere.
they in Costco in South Carolina?
I think they are, but we didn't go to Costco. So luckily, all right. But let's kick off the show as we always do. We got tons to talk about. We have some college football to chat about. We have the NBA Finals to preview today. We have tons to get through with that. So let's jump in right here. It is The Cut at the top of the program.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And this portion of the show also, The Cut, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, TRAJAN Wealth.com. That's Trajan Wealth for all of your financial needs and retirement. Go to TrajanWealth.com. All right. So this isn't an exact science, the FPI situation, right? When ESPN rolls out with it, I don't know why we even give it much heed. However,
analytics.
Yeah, the analytics are real, JJ. Like, that's a real thing. We have to understand what the numbers are saying. And this is one of the strange ones because what the FPI does, what did Britney Spears used to say? When Britney Spears gets auto-tuned, right? It's like sing into the computer and then see what comes out. Something magical, right? Someone on American Idol one of those years was like, let me sing into the machine. Just give me a chance. And that's what's going on right here. Every team gets their schedule put into the machine, and then like a weird Willy Wonka situation, just spits out a fortune for you, right? So what is it? And according to ESPN's FPI, which if you want to put a ranking up of the FPI, that's fine. The Big 12 and the rankings. And again, the way too early lists are one thing. This can be deemed a totally irrational list. It can be deemed a totally irresponsible list or way of doing things. But the rankings are out on the FPI. That is the assumption as to where you are on your schedule compared to how you're going to do against whatever opponent is. Now, I don't know how they came up with this. Kansas is number one in the Big 12 on the FPI, ranked 17th. Now, this speaks to strength of schedule, right? This speaks to
returners,
returning folks,
offense, defense. In fact, I had a
little metric,
here.
like it's kind of a metric on how they do it, because I don't know how they came up with Kansas State, 1-2. 3 is Arizona. You ready for where Utah is? Not 4. Utah is 5th and 27th overall in the FPI. 7.8 wins is what the computer says that they are likely to win this year. Now, and then 4.4 losses. How do you lose 4.4 games? You only have 0.4 of a quarterback. That's in my mind, that's how Utah loses 4.4 games is if Cam Rising's not.
Agree with that.
That's fine. But I don't get how they could have them losing. Where are they losing almost 5 games? Where is Utah losing almost 5 games? And what is the metric they even go by?
So here's the FPI as a power rating that tracks each team's strength relative to an average FBS squad. So teams are rated on offense, defense, and special teams with the values representing points per game. So that means Georgia's, so they're nearly 27 points per game better than the average team.
Okay.
So if they're number 1, right? So if their FPI says that. So that's how that's built. Now, I'm sure a lot of that information you have to carry it over from the previous season, right? So that could be why it's skewed that way. It's interesting. It's really interesting because where else have you seen Utah rated 5th in the Big 12?
Right, 0 places.
Let me throw this out there. So I've got the whole list, like not just the conference, but every school in the country rated. And Utah's 27th in FPI in the country.
It's crazy.
Is there even people that are like not really low, not even high on Utah or convinced of certain things? Do they have them that low?
I thought the FPI showed though too. Like, okay, let's just take every opponent game by game. Your chance of beating those opponents.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah. It's because
you're where are those 5 freaking losses coming from? Just all 4 to the teams that are that are ahead of them in the FPI.
That would be it.
That's it.
That's it. Well, they don't play all 4 of those teams.
No, I know. That's what I was wondering. Like, how do they do this?
They don't play Kansas. They don't play Kansas State. They only play Arizona and Oklahoma State.
Probably have them losing to their big-time rival Colorado,
teams,
right?
Oklahoma State's 26 and Arizona's 24 in FPI.
I have no idea what to
do. We really believe that Arizona, Oklahoma State, and Utah? Well, I guess Arizona would be in top 25 in this list, but do we really believe that Oklahoma State and Utah right now today are not top 25 teams? I can't say that. By the way, SMU, BYU's week 2 opponent, is 25th in FPI.
And so ahead of Utah.
I don't mean to pile on, but that non-conference game is going to be a war for BYU. That's a good SMU team.
I thought you were going to say I don't want to pile on to how inaccurate this list is. But it's a robot, JJ. You can't hurt its feelings. You can't.
That's true.
The FBI robot can't hurt you, JJ.
The FBI robot doesn't care about my feelings.
No. But it also, it's garbage. I would love to see a year by year what it actually turns out to be. Because now BYU on the flip side.
Where's BYU on this list? Let's get into that.
15th. Which is where I think between 13 and 15 is where BYU is on a lot of lists. I'd say 12 and 15, right? So you don't look at that. And they have them winning almost 5 games and losing almost 7. By the way, went 5-7 last year. Don't have a quarterback. You can't argue with where that is right now just based off of what you saw last year. That's why I get it with that. And I get that you, and like you said, you can find 5, 6, and even 7 losses sometimes on that. But you can also find 5, 6, or 7 wins possibly. This is how the FBI works. It's never going to be totally accurate, right? And so I don't know where you think BYU should be on this, but that feels a lot more accurate than saying Utah is going to win less than. Like, it has them almost winning 8 games and almost losing 4 games. Like, that's where they were last year.
It has them in that 5 and 7 range, right? 4.8 to 7.2. It's right in that range. Utah is the same. 7.8, 8 wins, 4 losses. It almost mirrors last season.
Yes.
Which tells you all you need to know about the FPI, because what is the FPI basing its stuff on? It has nothing else to go by than if it's going on offense, defense, special teams. It's using data from last year. Yep. So keep that in mind with the FPI. Don't overreact to the FPI. Even for a BYU fan. Let me boost up BYU here, because I think that they are too low on this list. I don't think they're the 73rd rated team in the country.
I saw you got some hate mail while I was gone.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Some Cougar hate
That's
mail.
okay. Look, I'm going to be straight. I'm going to be honest on this when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in here and I'm not sunshine and rainbows guy.
Well, it's not about
facts,
that.
Facts.
I think it was really weird that you went off of your contractual obligation to go 70-30 BYU Utah. I thought it was really weird of you. Like, I'm going to have to talk to Nate about this.
Talk to the boss.
You haven't been hitting your quota. What's your problem?
I have failed. No, look, let me give you the 4 teams in front of BYU in FPI. And you tell me, I mean, let's try to convince ourselves that these teams are better than BYU.
All right.
I'll start with number 72, Virginia. Come on.
All right.
I don't care what BYU could roll out. Ben Bywater can go back there and play quarterback. BYU's better than Virginia. BYU has better personnel than Virginia.
Wait, did Ben Bywater get in the quarterback room while I was out of town? That I could see something like that happen.
Sorry. I realize you've been gone. Don't want to throw anything.
Scared me. They're all QB4.
Hey,
Ben
maybe
Bywater.
they should. Maybe they should.
Give
I don't
it a
know.
Shot.
Throw somebody back there that
All
can
right.
just hand the ball off and not throw
Sure.
pick sixes at the.
Okay.
Wake Forest. Do you really believe BYU's not better than Wake Forest?
So a couple lower third ACC teams right there?
Right.
All right.
And then Syracuse at 70. I mean, I think BYU's better than Syracuse. Is BYU better than Tulane right now? Tulane has a new head coach.
If you go off of Tulane's record of the last couple of years, then you have to just say no. But, that's a short-lived situation.
Is Appalachian State better than BYU?
App State. Well, in terms of wins and losses, I would say yes, just because.
Right.
What are they in the Sun Belt?
They are in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, they'll win 9 to 11 games pretty much every year in the Sun Belt.
You get my point here. The exercise I'm showing is
it's not
the
an
computer's
apples to
saying
apples
this.
kind of situation.
I can take BYU and I can look at these other teams and say, okay. And that's why I get back to the Big 12. We're pretty soon. We're not far away. We got media day in 5 weeks.
Uh-oh.
We got to get our polls on, man. We got to start thinking about where we're going to vote these teams. And if I'm doing a preseason Big 12, 1 through 16, how am I doing this? It's going to be tough because you're looking at the conference. I'm like, it's a really good conference.
Okay.
Is it the Big 10 and SEC? Of course not. But I look at the top 5. I think the top 5 are top 25 teams. And I might even sneak Texas Tech in there. And then I haven't even talked about Central. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I almost did it. Oh,
Jeremy
hit the dump button.
UCF.
UCF is where's TCU at? I mean, those teams. West Virginia. Look, that's West Virginia's 9th in FPI in the conference. Colorado 10. Why is Iowa State 11th in FPI in the conference? 47 overall. The Cyclones are a dang good football team. How many teams in the country would take their starting quarterback and running back right now today?
So you feel like Iowa State probably got the shortest treatment on this?
Is Iowa State the 47th best team in the country? Are you kidding me?
Okay. All right. Now,
They can make a case that they should be preseason top 25.
All right. Let me see this.
So what, FPI, you're drunk.
All right. Wait. It always delivers something weird, right? Give me what last year's FPI said BYU and Utah were going to do.
I don't have BYU, but here's a couple names. USC, 7.
Okay. Oh, pretty good. By the way, Iowa State 2 years ago was like top 10.
Baylor, 23.
Okay.
Utah is 15. TCU, 17. Florida, 18. So there's some hit or misses there.
Right. So I guess as we do this exercise and we bring this up, FPI, what does it mean? Absolutely nothing.
Well, no, for sure. You can't go off of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they end up with all of this. Do we have any? I don't know if there's any preseason. So at the end of the 2021 year, you had Iowa State that was listed as the. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th best team in the FPI. But I don't know. I mean, how many? They didn't project BYU. What was BYU's projected wins then? Or what was Utah's projected wins of last year?
This just has like a rating, so it's like the point differential thing.
Right.
This is like, here's the top 25 from last year.
Right, and the FPI is funny because they'll be like, their FPI is 10 wins and 3 losses because that's what they ended up with, right?
Yeah, they don't go week by week. So if you go to the full drop down, it does you the most recent.
All right.
So.
Well, it's BS But I also am buying in some to what the BS is.
Here's some honesty. I just talked about how I think that BYU and Utah are underrated by FPI. Could Utah finish 5th in the Big 12 this year? Absolutely. Kansas, Kansas State, Arizona, Oklahoma State are all really, really good football teams. And they got to play 2 of those teams.
Okay. Could BYU finish top 7 in the Big 12 this year? Like as a wow, man, they turned it around. Because we don't give respect to the fact that because we do the same thing the computer does. We just go, well, based off of last year, I've got a bad feeling. And for you and I, we both have this big hurdle in the road of trying to give BYU more credit, which is no quarterback.
And brutal schedule.
When I say no quarterback.
BYU's schedule is brutal.
Right. When I say no quarterback, I'm saying that we know of, that has been proven. They might be in love and have loved what Jake Retzlaff has done in the offseason to improve his game. They might love Trayson Bourget more than we thought, and they're going to put him in earlier than you thought too. So which one is it? Which one is it? I don't know which one to believe. I think Utah's better than 5. I hope BYU's better than 15th. But they have them at 15th and still winning 5 games. And everyone that you talk to that's not your uncle who can't see past the fact that BYU is in a spot right now where they need to get better knows that BYU is behind the 8 ball. And they have not been up to snuff on where they're supposed to be compared to what relative to what the expectations are. All right? BYU football has not been a losing program. And when you have a losing season like you do, it's hard to I mean, look at the Jazz right now. With the Jazz, we go, when does this bleeding stop? With BYU, it's like the bleeding could stop immediately. That's how college football is. That's what makes it great.
100%. Because
West Virginia could beat BYU by 30 this year, and then BYU could. Well, I don't think they're on the schedule. I don't think the Mountaineers are coming out.
They are not. They are not.
But what I'm saying is that you can have that 30-point loss to Iowa State, and then come back and make a game out of it the next year, and win it in Ames. Who knows? I don't know what that looks like, but I think that there is a lot of hope. You know where the entirety of my hope lies? Is in TJ Woods. Isn't that wild that, like, it's a hard thing to do, but the changing over of your offensive line coach might be the entire difference of your season. And I get it. The quarterback is going to be way more important overall, but my feeling of BYU being underrated in this has a lot to do with the fact that they made some changes on their offensive coaching side of things. You gave me a look like, that's tough.
The offensive line is I'm not saying could, I'm saying is going to be better this year. My when I have to come crashing back down to reality with BYU, as optimistic as I can be about their personnel and everything else, this schedule is brutal. That SMU game on Friday, September 6th is going to be hard. And you know what? Then you got to turn around 8 days later and go to Laramie.
Oh, my gosh.
I know Wyoming's probably I think Wyoming takes a step back this year, new head coach. They've lost some players that are really good on that team. But you're still going to Laramie. And then you got to turn around and play Kansas State at home. Kansas State's really good. You got to go to Baylor. That's tricky. You got Arizona, Oklahoma State on the schedule. UCF, I almost did it again. Utah, Kansas.
Sure.
I mean, and that whole gauntlet, where's the team mentally and physically by the time you get to the end where it tapers off, where you have games that you should win? You should win at Arizona State. You should beat Houston. But where is the team by November 16th when they're taking on Kansas after that gauntlet? That is going to be such a difficult, challenging stretch of games, and it's really going to push this roster to its max. How does the team doing mentally if they don't get that win at SMU? Yeah. After what happened last year? What if the quarterbacks aren't taking off and don't have a great game against SMU? You're thinking, oh my gosh, we can't beat SMU. How are we going to beat Kansas State in 2 weeks?
Yeah, they could absolutely be.
That's my concern. That's my worry with this team.
Yeah, they could absolutely be 1-3. Absolutely could be 1-3.
We're going through the 60 and 60. they've got some really nice players on this team. They've got some really good talent. I've got several guys, and I'm going through this right now. I have to have it done today, but I got several Cougars in the top 20. But none of them are a quarterback.
Oh.
Right? And some of them are coming back from injuries. You have to be realistic about the gauntlet and the grind of what this schedule could provide them. Is it too much to overcome? This program's still in a transition, coming out of independence into Power 4 territory. We saw it with TCU. We saw it with Utah. It's an adjustment. BYU's still making that adjustment. That doesn't mean they can't have a 6-6, 7-5 year, but it's going to be hard. Don't have an expectation that's going to be any different than that.
I wonder what the absolute ceiling is for BYU win-wise. Is it 7?
7.
Okay.
Maybe we can, in another segment today, we can go through the schedule again, see where we're at.
All right, let's take a break. We're going a little bit late here. I know it's a shocker. We talked too much after we hadn't been together for a week, so there you go. All right, we got more to go around the corner. Stay with us. When we return, fun day today, by the way. I mean, lots to talk about. We bounce around from college football over to the NBA, of course, the NBA Finals firing up here, and you've got the Mavericks and the Celtics, just like you called it, JJ. Just like you called it. Sort of. Just like we had imagined. Sort of. We'll come back. We got more to go around the corner. We'll talk with Grant Afsa of the MavericksGameDay.com. He will inform us as to where the Mavericks are mentally right now after winning the West and firing it up against the favorites in the Boston Celtics. Stay with us right here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.